This is Keke.
All right, you guys, you know I love astrology, which is why I had to dedicate a whole episode to it and get multiple perspectives on the topic. I am thrilled to introduce my next guest, who's made a huge impact on my life. Please welcome to the show the amazing Raj. Hey, Raj.
Hi, Kiki. How are you?
I'm so good. You know, it is always nice talking to you, but to have you on the show is just so much fun. Because, you know, guys, I talk to Raj often. He always is giving me some encouraging words and telling me what's happening, what cycles we're in. And we just always have a really fun time. I met him through a friend, and now I've introduced him to all my friends, and now I'm introducing him to you guys. And I'm excited to get into this conversation because astrology is, I think a lot of times people think it's just one thing, but they're all different types. You know, there's the Vedic science and how Vedic astrology differs from the everyday astrology, maybe that some of us are into, if it does at all. So I'm curious, like, how would you describe the karmic Vedic chart?
Okay, Vedic karmic chart is a snapshot of a karma when you were born. Based on your date, time, and place of birth, it gives us a snapshot of the heavens when you were born. And that, based on our Vedic system, tells about the karma of the individual in the 4 dimension of existence. That means we call it dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. That means there is a life purpose for this person. A chart can reflect what is the life purpose of this person. What is the wealth factor in this person? How is the relationships going to be in this person, for this person in this life? How is the spiritual aspects of the life going to be for this person? It goes back to 5000 BC, and it's all in Sanskrit language. It's mathematical, and the probability of understanding a person's life is much better than what an economist can do in Wall Street and predicting the stock market.
Really? What is the reasoning why you think it's not taken as seriously?
It is taken very seriously, at least in India and many parts of the world. Right from the time a kid is born, your chart is made, you're named based on your chart.
Wow.
Yes, in India, when I was born, my name has to resonate with my chart. So the name is selected based on the chart. The first time I'm fed is based on my chart. They look at the chart and determine the date, time, and the place, and then a priest comes on that day, you're fed. When I'm getting married, the relationships, you can date, but we match the charts to make sure that the matching is good. We have 10 dimensions of existence. We look at all the 10 dimensions, look at the karmic balances, and then say, okay, this marriage will sustain. Guess what? 95% it succeeds. It's so powerful system.
So then what do you say to somebody that says, hey, what about free will? What do you say to that?
Very good. See, in the Jyotish system, in the Vedic astrology system, West, we call it Vedic astrology, actually Jyotish system, there is 2 things. One is fate and one is free will. The fate component, it's like a plot of land given to everybody based on their karma. Now you can use your free will to work within that plot of land. It's like saying Mike Tyson is there, okay? I want to become Mike Tyson. Even if I work out for 17 to 20 hours a day, I can never be Mike Tyson. I can never be Mike Tyson because it is not the plot of land given to me.
Right.
You understand? Right. Everybody cannot be Keke Palmer.
Come on,
only
now.
One Keke Palmer. I'm not kidding. You are given a particular, skills because it is based on your karma. Now people ask me, why is so much? It is just you have brought that good energy with you. There is no other explanation. If you look at, there are 10 people who are more handsome than Sylvester Stallone, who are better than that, but they have waited tables all their life in LA. And there could only be one guy who made it. You can say he's talented, the other guys are talented, good looking, but it didn't work because that plot of land was not given to them. They have something else to do.
I think that's important what you're saying with that they have something else to do, because I think it's easy in life to see when someone is walking in their path, right? When somebody is embracing their light and they're experiencing the blessings that come from them living in their truth and living in their purpose, it becomes very easy for people to say, well, I should have that. Or I want that, or that's, I want that plot of land. But what's
Correct.
Key to what you're saying is that it's really just about finding your purpose. When you hone in and you actually get the awareness, get the understanding of who you are, where you're at, what your vibe is, it actually puts you in a position to find happiness in your plot of land instead of maybe envying someone else's, because it's really not the plot of land you're envying. You're actually envying the fact that someone else is living and knowing in their purpose. So you're saying that you feel that the karmic Vedic astrology actually can really help people to find their purpose and
Yes,
feel purposeful in that.
very powerful, because it is the only system in the world, in my opinion, which talks about something called dasha system. Dasha in Sanskrit language means direction of life. So a chart can
Mm.
tell me, when I plot a chart for a person, there are almost 16 to 20 charts. That means each chart is dedicated to each aspect of life. Like one is only about marriage, one is only about career, one is only about your children, one is about your mom, one is about your dad and
Mm.
grandfather. I can't,
Damn.
I cannot analyze certain things because it's so detailed. It is so detailed, and think about the extent to which they have understood the humanity, understood the whole quantum. I call it the quantum physics of the soul. It's a quantum physics of the soul. How, what is this doing here? Why are you here? What is your purpose? Right now, there are two children born. One is born to a very rich person somewhere in America or somewhere. Another is born to very poor somewhere in Asia or Africa. What has that kid done? Two kid right now done that. One should be born there, another should be born here.
Right. That's very weird. I think that is like something that people hate when they hear about stuff like astrology or fate, or that's just what somebody was supposed to happen. Um, it it seems unfair. I think it seems kind of like, dang, that seems crazy.
That is why in the traditional Indian system we say you should do good karmas. It's like credit and debit. When somebody is doing very well,
Come on,
everything
credit and
is
debit.
working out for them. They say, you know what? It is all the person's good karma. Everything is working so good for them. This is the traditional saying. No one will tell that the person is talented, the person is working hard, the person is this. They will say it's all good karma. Let them keep doing. You put your hard work, do your part. It's very important to understand your karma. What is your purpose here?
So then I'm curious then, when people come to you, what do they come? They come to you and say, what? Tell me what to do. They come to you to tell, like, how does it work, Raj?
Yeah. Well, when people come, they sign up and they come to me, and they, I make the charts, and I did, and I analyze the chart. It takes me 2 hours to do even the basic analysis, to go through everything. I make my notes, everything, and then I sit
Mm-hmm.
with them and walk them through. In a lot of times when I look at the chart, I know in my mind what is the problem. It's kind of,
Really?
yes, it's because if a person is in such a dasha system. You remember I was talking about dasha, which means direction of life. So I can break down your life into for 120 years, and every month I can go to the month level. But I don't do that because it becomes too detailed, too much. So when I look at the direction of life, I know the person is in trouble, or they are having serious relationship issues, or
Mm.
they are going to health issues. Some of the charts will never succeed in relationships, so they will
What?
have yes. And I
So how
tell
do you
them,
tell someone that you will always fail in love? How do you
no.
tell them that?
I tell them, guess what? If I were your brother, I would advise you, do not marry, just date, have fun, enjoy your life. The moment you start bringing somebody at home and change the ring, your problems are going to start.
But wait a minute, Raj. What you're saying there is so important, right? Because what you're saying is not that they won't have love, but it sounds like what you're saying is that love in a relationship in the traditional sense may not
Yes,
never be good for that
for
person.
them.
This person doesn't want tradition. And when they
Correct.
try to do that, it becomes catastrophist, or if that's
Correct.
even a word. But it's like some people I love what you're saying, because it's like I think some people might even be happy to hear that, because then maybe it's an answer to their prayers and they can understand, wow,
It,
I'm never supposed to live like that.
it is true.
You tell your clients it's better to be lucky than to be smart. Can you explain why you believe that?
Because if you're at the right place, life is defined by time and space. So in life, technically you have to be at the right place at the right time. For example, you go in the car, you go for an interview, you park the car, and there is a person walking into the interview, into the building, and he drops his wallet. So and he keeps walking.
Right.
You look at the wallet, you pick it up and go in, and you go after the person and say, "Sir, you dropped your wallet." "Oh, thank you so much, my friend." He said, "It was there." "Oh, I had almost $2,000 in it. I'm so grateful. Thank you." And you give it, and then, you go up and you're waiting for the interview. You go into the room and you see the same guy going to be interviewing you.
Wow.
Okay. You
Wow.
understand? So he says, oh, so you're here to interview for the role? He said, yes, sir. He said, come on, sit down. He gets the job. You see the each sequence of events?
Yeah. Luck is important.
That's why I say it's better to be lucky in life than to be smart. And I can tell you, many billionaires, many people who are successful, when they stand in front of the mirror in the evening and look at them, they at least tell, I'm so lucky. Thank God that everything is working out.
So why is it? Why are some people lucky when you talk about they've come into the life with karma, with good karma? Like, I mean, what did I? You know, like, how did if somebody feels like I'm lucky or I'm blessed and I'm so grateful for what I have, and you know, can you tell what they did in the past life or what
You know,
happened in the past life?
we can tell. It's called Purva Punya. It's fascinating, actually. To me, it's fascinating. Purva means prior, Punya means the credit you bring from the past birth. It's all debit and credit. Your life, that's what I always believe. You can never escape the bad deeds you're doing and the good
Mm.
deeds you're doing, because all are going at a quantum level. Energy has been accumulated in your inner energy. That you call it spirit,
Ooh.
we call it atma means the light, the energy. Your spirit is the eternal. It has no end and no begin. It keeps changing the body. So all the good things you have done, whatever you're enjoying now, is the lot of things is the results of what you have done. The credit should go to you for what you have done and you have brought along with you.
Yeah.
Similarly, whatever you're going to go through, tough time is all the karma. But if you are aware of this fact that life is not going to be always, it is a cycle. If you understand that, lot of problems get solved and
Hmm.
everything is temporary. And the system tells that everything is temporary. So that's why when I look at the chart, I tell people you're going to be in a tough time between this date and this date. After that, things will start getting better. So hold on, be calm, meditate, take a deep breath.
So I mean, I'm curious. Have you ever been completely wrong? Have you looked at something and got
Yes,
it wrong?
I,
Really?
I, yes, I was wrong with my own brother.
What do you mean? What
Yes.
happened?
Well, my brother, I mean, not to go deep detail, but I had predicted about his success in selling a company. He did sell, but it sold 3 years late. Okay, 3 to 4 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you were kind of right.
I always, whenever he spoke, I said, you are going to sell. Somehow I missed because I go too analytical. And the other important factor, is that I have learned this in my life is that never guide or work with relatives or family, because you start to become biased. Sometimes you want them to succeed. You start to look, okay, you try to find ways to see, okay, there's something positive, here there is something positive.
Can you explain why it takes someone's time, place, and date of birth to determine the patterns in their life? Like, how does that work? How can the time, the place, and the date, how can that tell you all of that?
It is like quantum physics. It's like, because
Oh wow.
time and space defines our existence. Don't we say we have to be at the right place at the right time? And also the ancient yogis and rishis understood this, because we are a part of the cosmos. We are not alone. You are looking at yourself sitting here, but you just go back and look at the whole universe. You are nothing. You are like you're not
Yeah.
even an ant. So you are a part of the whole cosmos. So everything, think about your body. What is it? 5 elements of nature: fire, earth, air, water, and space. What is fire? The anabolic, the activity of your body. The heat, the digestion it's the fiery part of your body. Air is what you breathe. You know, earth is your muscles. Water is your blood.
Wow.
You see, space is the space, tubular stays within. You are 5 elements of nature. So we are all connected. If somebody tells me, oh, there's nothing to it, I always tell, never have an opinion about something without knowing about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, if you have an opinion, you better read about it, understand a little bit, and then if you talk about it, it makes sense. There's nothing. They'll say, oh, I don't believe in astrology. This is all about, okay, I don't believe that there is a brain. They'll say, what do you mean? I said, show me your brain. Are you going to break your head and open it to show your brain that I do have a brain? Come on. You know what I'm telling you. It's like it's like saying that you're talking in your cell phone, and somebody asks you, a dummy comes and asks you, what are you doing? Oh, I'm talking cell phone. Really? You're talking to someone, I can't see the person. You say, no, I can hear the person. How do you know that it's the same person? Oh, you have to then teach them electrical engineering. There is analog and digital waves. And when you are talking, the waves are going. He will never understand. He will say, oh, it's all fake.
I love what you're saying so much because, math does tell a story. Sacred geometry, that tells a story. With that being said, do you believe in manifestation?
Yes, I do.
How does that go into connection with this? Is it limited? Is the manifestation limited?
Yes,
to?
it is limited
what you're
because
saying? Okay.
a chart reflects the skills. There is a
Yeah.
limitation. There is a limitation there. My cousin in India, I was looking at her husband's chart, and she wanted me to look at her son's chart, and I was looking at her. I said, "Don't worry about your son. Worry about your husband." She said, "Why are you suddenly telling me this?" I said, I gave her a period. I said, this time to this 12 months is very critical. He said he's healthy, he's doing very well. They were in Africa for some time. They moved back to India. They were in business. She said, he's doing well. I said, I don't know, but this period of time is going to be very tough. And there is something, we use the word maraka. Maraka means a very obstructive period coming. So better he should take care of himself, be watchful, don't invest anything risky. I always tell, when you're in tough time, lie low. Once you're out of the time, you'll be, it's better to do whatever you want. So it's kind of mitigating. If you don't do it, you're going to lose big. Either way, you lose. It's going to be, the loss is going to be either way, in the sense, like, if you don't do something, some big opportunity, you will leave and you will say, oh, damn, I left that opportunity. But then if you do something, you will lose something you say, I should not have done. You understand my point?
Yeah. Sometimes that's just what's in the air.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
This, what happened to my suddenly I get a call that he had my cousin's husband's had a aortic wall opening, like aorta, it cracked. So he was immediately taken into the hospital, in the surgery. He died.
No.
Yes, he died. He passed away.
But the son?
Not the son, the husband.
So you just saw serious something?
Yeah, serious something, health related to. That's why I told, ask him to take care of his health, make sure that he's doing everything. And suddenly this happens. And guess what I did? I actually took a snapshot of that chart when he died, and I have still saved it and kept to teach people.
Ooh, child, that is spooky.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so how can people start to live a lucky life? Like, how do people enhance their life using your method?
They can use the method to understand their strengths, weaknesses, use your strengths to grow, try to mitigate your weaknesses, try to use natural methods of eating, try to do natural methods of control like pranayama, breathing control, which is because breathing control can solve a lot of your problem, anxieties, everything. Because breathing, when you get angry, what do you breathe heavy? When you run, you breathe heavy. So breathing can heal many things based on Ayurvedic systems. So I always tell them, do meditation, do yoga, be contented, be happy. And if you are good in something, focus on that. If it is meant for you, it will happen. If it is not, it is a learning. Go forward.
I love that, Raj. And I love talking to you. It's always a pleasure. You're so enlightening. And I just appreciate you for being on the show. I just can't wait for people to hear what you got going on. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Keke. It was a pleasure being a part of your show. Thank you.
Woo!